Hey everyone! Today let's follow along on Huyen's family's journey back to their hometown. While they haven't quite made it there yet, they're passing through Adam's hometown. Huyen and her family make a stop at Adam's parents' house to visit, and it's there that they start to understand a little more about Adam's past and the pain he's been carrying. So, stick with us as we dive deeper into Huyen's family's journey home and uncover more of the story behind Adam's struggles. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. As Huyen sat on the train, heading back to her hometown, she couldn't shake the feeling of deep sadness that weighed on her heart. Leaving this place, even though she hadn't been here long, felt like leaving behind something precious. The memories of peace and quiet, the sense of safety she had found here were etched into her heart, and she knew she would never forget them. Truth be told, Huyen felt an overwhelming sadness, like she was leaving a part of herself behind. But what troubled her even more than the goodbye was the uncertainty of the future, especially for her daughter Maya. All Huyen wanted was to see Maya grow up happy, to attend school, and make new friends, to have a future full of opportunities and joy. The thought of her little girl facing challenges alone made Huyen's heart ache. She promised herself and Maya that they would work hard to create a better life. She knew that despite all the hardships, she and Jay had the strength to build a new life together. She also knew how much Jay loved her, how much he had sacrificed for her and Maya. His love was something she cherished deeply. Huyen knew that this journey wasn't just about surviving, but about building something meaningful, something solid for Maya's future. She silently vowed to give Jay the kind of love and devotion that matched the depth of his sacrifice, and together they would find happiness again. After traveling a long distance, Huyen and her family finally arrived at their destination, Adam's hometown. They took a much-needed break after the long train ride. Despite the exhaustion from the journey, Maya was full of energy, her cheerful attitude brightening the atmosphere. Huyen, on the other hand, was feeling a bit lightheaded and had a slight headache, the weight of the journey catching up with her. Even though she wasn't feeling her best, she pushed through. They weren't in any rush to head home right away. Instead, they decided to visit Adam's parents, something that had been on their minds for a while. Adam had been such a big help to their family during their time in this unfamiliar place. Huyen and Jay always saw him as a close friend, almost like a brother. And now they wanted to show their gratitude by visiting Adam's family, especially after learning that Adam's mother was ill. Adam had shared that his mother was sick, and Huyen felt it was important to check in on her as well. After a brief rest, they began asking for directions to Adam's parents' house. The journey was long and on foot, but they didn't mind. They asked people along the way, each friendly local, offering a warm smile and eager to help them find their way. With each step, they got closer to their destination, following the kind-hearted directions of the villagers. Slowly, they started to approach the house that had once been the center of so much kindness for them. The sense of community and the kindness of strangers in this new town made Huyen feel grateful. And as she walked beside Jay and Maya, she couldn't help but reflect on how much support they had received. But despite everything, the feeling of not being truly home still lingered, and Huyen couldn't help but wonder what the future held for them in the days to come. After a long journey, Huyen and her family finally arrived at Adam's parents' house. As they approached, they saw an elderly woman sitting by the front door, and it didn't take long for them to realize that this was Adam's mother. Huyen and her family introduced themselves, mentioning that they were close friends of Adam, the one who had helped them so much back in their town. Adam's mother was clearly delighted by the visit, a warm smile spreading across her face as she welcomed them into her home. They had brought a small gift for her, a token of their appreciation for Adam's kindness, and she accepted it with genuine gratitude. Without missing a beat, Adam's mother asked how Adam was doing. She had not seen her son in a while, and the worry in her voice was unmistakable. "How is my son? I've been so worried, but I just haven't had the chance to visit him," she said. Jay smiled reassuringly and replied, "Adam is doing well. He's been working hard, and his boss really values him." Adam's mother's face brightened at this news. "That's such a relief to hear. Thank you so much for coming all this way to visit me. Since you're so far from home, please stay with me tonight. It's getting late, and you should rest before heading out tomorrow." Huyen and Ji exchanged a glance, appreciating the kindness of Adam's mother. They gratefully accepted her invitation to stay for the night, feeling both honored and humbled by her warm hospitality. It had been a long, emotionally charged journey for them, and the comfort of a welcoming home was just what they needed. They were tired, both physically and emotionally, but there was a sense of peace in knowing that Adam's family was looking out for them, just as Adam had done. As night fell, Huyen couldn't help but feel a bittersweet sense of comfort, knowing that despite all the struggles they had faced, they still had people who cared. Adam's mother shared with Huyen that she had been struggling with an illness, making it impossible for her to work. As a result, she spent her days at home managing household chores. Adam, knowing how much his mother needed help, had been working far away sending money back so she could buy the medicine she needed. Huyen could see the deep love and concern in her eyes for Adam, and the sadness in her voice as she spoke about how much he had to sacrifice his education, his opportunities just to care for her. As they sat together, talking and reminiscing, it felt like family warm, comforting, like old friends who hadn't seen each other in years. Their laughter and shared moments of connection eased the heaviness that had lingered in Huyen's heart for so long. Despite everything she and her family had gone through, there was a peacefulness in being surrounded by such genuine care. While Huyen and Adam's mother picked vegetables together, Huyen opened up about Adam's plans. She mentioned that Adam had been thinking about returning to his hometown, not just for his own peace of mind, but to take better care of his mother. He wanted to make sure she was well, and he was trying to arrange his work schedule so he could be closer to her. Adam's mother's face lit up when she heard this news. The relief and joy in her eyes were impossible to miss. "There's nothing more wonderful than having your family close by," she said, her voice filled with emotion. She had sacrificed so much for Adam over the years, and the idea of him coming home to be by her side made everything feel right again. It was clear that this simple gesture from Adam of wanting to come back and care for his mother meant the world to her. In that moment, Huyen felt a deep sense of gratitude for the kindness and the strong bonds that held this family together. She understood Adam's need to care for his mother, and seeing the love between them gave her hope for the future. It was as if, in that quiet moment in the garden, everything was falling into place. The love that had been shared, the sacrifices made were all part of a bigger picture, a picture of family love and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. Together, they prepared a meal, simple, yet filled with warmth and happiness. It wasn't a lavish feast, but rather a comforting spread of traditional Vietnamese dishes, each one carrying with it the essence of home. As they sat around the table, there was a shared sense of contentment, the kind that only comes from being surrounded by those you care about, even in the midst of difficult times. It was a moment of peace, where they could forget their troubles just for a while and enjoy the simple joy of being together. Adam's mother listened intently as Huyen spoke about Adam's plans to return home soon. It was clear in her eyes the joy and hope she could barely contain. She had been longing for her son to come back, and hearing that he was making arrangements to do so brought her a sense of relief. She prayed that he would stay healthy and that their family could be reunited. For Adam's mother, the thought of having him back by her side was more than just a wish. It was a dream she had held on to for a long time, and so the journey of Huyen's family had reached a temporary stop. They had found a place of rest at Adam's parents' house. For now, it was here that they would pause and reflect, surrounded by the kindness and care of people who had already shown them so much love. Their journey wasn't over, but in this moment, they found a brief respite, a chance to breathe, and to cherish the connections they had made along the way. If you're following Huyen's journey, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the latest updates. There's so much more to come as we continue to follow the story of Huyen and her family and the challenges and triumphs that lie ahead. Stay tuned.
Xin chào mọi người, hôm nay hãy cùng theo chân tôi hành trình trở về quê hương của gia đình Huyền. Dù chưa đi đến nơi nhưng họ đã đi ngang qua quê hương của Adam. Huyền và gia đình ghé thăm bố mẹ Adam, và chính tại đây họ bắt đầu hiểu đôi chút về quá khứ của Adam và những nỗi đau anh ấy đang mang trong mình. Vậy nên hãy cùng chúng tôi tìm hiểu sâu hơn về hành trình về nhà của gia đình Huyền, khám phá hơn những câu chuyện đằng sau khó khăn của Adam. Đừng quên ấn nút đăng ký và bật chuông thông báo để không bỏ lỡ những thông tin và cập nhật mới nhất nhé. Khi Huyền ngồi trên tàu trở về quê hương, cô không khỏi cảm thấy nỗi buồn sâu thẳm trong lòng. Rời khỏi nơi này dù mới ở đây chưa lâu, cảm giác như một điều gì đó quý giá đã khắc sâu vào trái tim cô, và biết rằng cô sẽ không bao giờ quên chúng. Thật lòng mà nói, Huyền cảm thấy một nỗi buồn mênh mông, như thể cô đang bỏ lại một phần của chính mình. Nhưng điều khiến cô lo lắng hơn cả là lời tạm biệt, là sự bất định về tương lai, đặc biệt là con gái của Maya. Tất cả những gì Huyền mong muốn là được thấy Maya lớn lên trong hạnh phúc, được đến trường, được kết bạn, có một tương lai tràn ngập cơ hội và niềm vui. Nghĩ đến cảnh con gái nhỏ phải một mình đối mặt với những thử thách khiến Huyền rất đau lòng. Cô tự hứa với bản thân rằng Maya sẽ nỗ lực để tạo nên một cuộc sống tốt đẹp hơn. Cô biết rằng dù khó khăn đến mấy, cô và Đệ vẫn có đủ sức mạnh để cùng nhau xây dựng một cuộc sống mới.